Kirk Douglas threw a cup of hot coffee into a businessman's face. In broad daylight, on a crowded Los Angeles street, 30 people watched it happen. The businessman was screaming, the coffee was burning, and Kirk Douglas was standing over a 10-year-old boy, fists clenched, ready to do worse. This is the story that never made the papers. September 3rd, 1959. Downtown Los Angeles, Spring Street, lunchtime. The sidewalks were packed, businessmen in suits, secretaries on break, the usual chaos of a Wednesday afternoon. Kirk Douglas was walking to a meeting. He had 20 minutes to kill. He spotted a Shoeshine stand on the corner, a wooden box, 2 chairs, a hand-painted sign that read, "Best Shine in L.A., 25 cents. The Shoeshine boy was maybe 10 years old, small for his age, brown skin, worn clothes. The kind of kid who worked because his family needed the money. Kirk sat down in one of the chairs. "Shine, mister?" Kirk smiled. "That's why I'm here." The boy got to work. He was good. Fast hands, careful strokes. He took pride in his work. Kirk watched him, reminded him of himself at that age, working any job he could find, hustling to survive. "What's your name, kid?" "Miguel, sir." "How long you been doing this, Miguel?" 2 years, sir, since I was 8. My papa got hurt at the factory. Can't work no more. So I help. Kirk nodded. "You're a good worker, Miguel. Your papa must be proud." Miguel smiled, the first real smile Kirk had seen on the boy's face. Then everything went wrong. The chair next to Kirk was occupied by a man in an expensive suit, gray pinstripe, gold watch, the kind of man who looked at the world like he owned it. Another Shoeshine boy was working on his shoes, older than Miguel, maybe 12. The businessman was reading a newspaper, not paying attention. The older boy was rushing, trying to finish quickly. The tin of shoe polish slipped. A small splash of black polish landed on the businessman's sock, barely visible, a tiny spot. The businessman looked down. His face turned red. "You stupid little—" He kicked the boy. Not a nudge, not a push. A kick, his expensive leather shoe connecting with the boy's chest. The boy flew backward, hit the sidewalk. The tin of polish scattered everywhere. The street went quiet. Kirk was on his feet before he knew he was moving. The businessman was standing now, towering over the fallen boy. "Look what you did!" The businessman's voice was pure contempt. "You ruined my sock. Do you know how much these cost? More than your whole family makes in a month." He pulled back his foot to kick again. Kirk grabbed his arm. The businessman spun around. "What the hell do you think you're—" He stopped, recognized Kirk Douglas. The anger in his face flickered. Uncertainty. "Mr. Douglas, I didn't realize. This boy ruined my—" Kirk's grip tightened. "You kicked a child." The businessman tried to pull away. "He got polish on my—" "You kicked a child." Kirk's voice was ice. "A 12-year-old boy. You kicked him in the chest." The businessman's face hardened. "He's just a Shoeshine boy. He should be more careful. These things cost—" Kirk didn't let him finish. In one smooth motion, Kirk grabbed the cup of coffee from the businessman's other hand, the cup he'd been drinking while getting his shoes shined, and threw it directly in his face. The businessman screamed. The coffee was hot, not scalding, but hot enough to hurt. It ran down his face, into his eyes, soaking his expensive shirt. He stumbled backward, clawing at his face. "My eyes, you lunatic! My eyes!" Kirk stood over him. "That's for the boy. And if you ever touch a child again, coffee will be the least of your problems." The businessman was on the ground now, wiping coffee from his eyes, his suit ruined, his dignity shattered. "You'll pay for this, Douglas. I'll sue you. I'll destroy you." Kirk looked down at him with absolute contempt. "Go ahead. Sue me. Tell the judge you kicked a 12-year-old boy because he got polish on your sock. Tell them how much your precious socks cost. Tell them everything." Kirk leaned closer. "I'm Kirk Douglas. I've got lawyers. I've got money. I've got reporters who owe me favors. You want to make this a public fight? Let's go. I'd love to see your face in the papers tomorrow." The businessman said nothing. Kirk turned to the fallen boy. The 12-year-old was sitting on the sidewalk, holding his chest, tears running down his face. Kirk knelt beside him. "Are you okay? Can you breathe?" The boy nodded. "It hurts, but I'm okay." Kirk helped him to his feet, checked his chest. It would bruise, but nothing was broken. Miguel, the younger Shoeshine boy, was standing frozen, his eyes wide with shock. Kirk walked over to him. "Miguel, is this your brother?" Miguel shook his head. "No, sir. That's Danny. He works the next corner. We look out for each other." Kirk reached into his wallet. He pulled out a $100 bill, more money than these boys would see in months. He pressed it into Miguel's hand. "Split this with Danny, and take the rest of the day off. Both of you." Miguel stared at the money. "Sir, this is too much. We can't." "You can." Kirk's voice was firm but gentle. "And you will. Because what happened here wasn't your fault. It wasn't Danny's fault. It was that man's fault." Kirk looked at the businessman, still sitting on the ground, coffee-stained and humiliated. Some people think money makes them better than everyone else. It doesn't. It just makes them louder. Don't ever let anyone make you feel like you're worth less because you work with your hands. Kirk looked back at Miguel. "Your papa works hard. You work hard. That's something to be proud of. Don't let anyone tell you different." Miguel's eyes were wet. "Thank you, sir." Kirk ruffled his hair. "Now go home. Get some rest. And tell your papa I said he's got a good son." The crowd was still watching. 30 people who had seen everything. Some were smiling, some were applauding. A few were helping the businessman to his feet, though not with much enthusiasm. Kirk straightened his jacket and walked away. He never looked back. The businessman's name was Howard Carmichael, vice president of a major bank. Rich, connected, powerful. He did not sue Kirk Douglas. He didn't go to the papers. He didn't call his lawyers. He didn't do anything except go home, clean the coffee off his face, and never speak of that day again. Why? Because 30 witnesses saw him kick a 12-year-old boy in the chest. Because Kirk Douglas was one of the most beloved actors in America. Because the story would have destroyed Howard Carmichael's reputation far more than any coffee stain. So he stayed quiet, but the story didn't stay quiet on Spring Street. The Shoeshine boys told their families. The families told their neighbors. The neighbors told their friends. Within a week, everyone in the Latino community of East Los Angeles knew about the movie star who threw coffee at a rich man for kicking a child. Kirk Douglas became a legend in a neighborhood he'd never even visited. 40 years later, in 1999, Kirk Douglas received a letter. "Dear Mr. Douglas, my name is Daniel Reyes. In 1959, I was a 12-year-old Shoeshine boy on Spring Street in Los Angeles. A man kicked me because I got polish on his sock. You threw coffee in his face. I've thought about that day every day of my life. Not because of the kick. I've forgotten the kick. I've forgotten the pain. What I remember is you, standing over me, asking if I could breathe, telling me it wasn't my fault. You gave my friend Miguel $100. He split it with me. $50 each, more money than I'd ever seen. I used that money to buy school books. I was the first person in my family to graduate high school, then college, then law school. I'm a judge now, Mr. Douglas. Los Angeles County Superior Court. I handle juvenile cases, kids who remind me of myself, Kids who work because their families need them. Kids who get kicked by the world and are told it's their fault. Every day, I try to do what you did. Stand up for them. Tell them it's not their fault. Remind them they have value. I have a picture of you on my desk, not the movie star. The man who threw coffee at Howard Carmichael. That's who I want to be. That's who you taught me to be. Thank you for seeing me that day. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for the $50 that changed my life. Your friend, Judge Daniel Reyes. Kirk read the letter 3 times. Then he wrote back. Dear Daniel, I remember that day. I remember the kick. I remember the coffee. I remember you on the sidewalk, holding your chest, trying not to cry. But mostly I remember your eyes. Even then, even at 12 years old, I could see something in you. Strength, dignity, the refusal to be beaten. I didn't make you a judge, Daniel. You made you a judge. I just threw some coffee. Keep fighting for those kids. They need you. And you're exactly the kind of man who should be fighting for them. Your friend, Kirk. Kirk kept Daniel's letter in his desk for the rest of his life, right next to a photograph of a shoeshine stand on Spring Street. And sometimes, if you look closely at the old photographs from Hollywood's golden age, you can still see it. Not the fame, not the awards, but the look in a man's eyes when he chose principle over comfort. Kirk Douglas played tough guys on screen, but off-screen he was tougher. In an industry built on pretending, his courage was the only real thing that lasted. Is there a moment in your life where you wish someone had stood up for you? Or a moment where you stood up for someone else? Hollywood has many secrets, but these are the ones worth telling. If you want to know the real stories, the ones they didn't put in the magazines, you're in the right place. We are peeling back the curtain on the man who never bent. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe to Kirk Douglas, the man who never bent. We are just getting started. There are stories about Bert, about Spartacus, and about the moments that defined a legend. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Leave a comment below. What would you have done in Kirk's position? I'll see you in the next video. Never bend.